Hi, Queens. Sam here. So, welcome back. Today is day 11 of the 30 in 30. And I want to share with you three things that I do believe everyone should do in their life at least once. The first thing is taking a sabbatical, taking a career break, taking time off work. And along with that, taking time off social media. Those two things together, you taking time off work plus taking time off social media, will really help you to have the time for yourself, for you to rediscover yourself, to know really who you are, to allow you to do some introspection and, being aligned with nature, hearing your thought, acknowledging your thought, meditate, so many beneficial things that unfortunately in this life, being so caught up with the everything that comes at us, like the work, the family, the bills, all of that, we don't have enough time for ourselves. We don't not have enough time to think, not even make any decision, but just to think. I feel like we just don't have enough time, except if you're really intentional about that. It's really hard for most people in their day to day, going from one thing to the other, to allow themselves to have that time to think. And how do we discover who we are, really, what we want, really, if we don't have that time, right? And so when I went down to Mexico for like 7, 8 months, I was down there mainly to give birth there, and also I guess like test my move abroad plan and see, if that would be something that I really like and enjoy. I had lots of time on my end, a lot of time on my end. There are like days I have nothing fun, close to nothing, because I have, at the time I had my little one to take care of. But I will go for long walks in the city, in the beach. People will see me with my belly walking up and down the streets, like at the beach. And so I love walking because it really, really helps me to also be in sync with my thought. That's for me. Doesn't have to be for you, but for me, that's what it does for me. And so living in Canada, where you have like 4 or 5 months of snow, and being someone who has never really enjoyed winter that much, I don't really go for walks that much during winter, and that really, like caused me quite a bit of uh, not stress, but like constraint on what I can do during winter. But just to go back to the one thing that definitely people should do is really to take that time off work, because if you're off work and you don't have to be physically somewhere, then you can move, in another city, another country where you enjoy things more, and really have the time for yourself. So, as you may or may not know, Exotic Summit is all about Black women taking career breaks, going on sabbaticals, a lot of them going on sabbaticals and never returning to their work because, they just decided, discovered that, there is maybe much more to work than they thought, and they wanted to uh, be responsible and take a chance at this. And so, if you're not part of the community yet, but you're a Black woman and taking sabbaticals, career breaks, or moving abroad, traveling the world is something that you're interested in, make sure to join the Facebook group. And I'm very sure that we'll be happy to have you, and you will see so many stories from Black women doing the thing. All right. So, first reason. The second reason that I do think, the second thing that I do believe that people should do in their lives is learn a language. Learn a language. Listen, I had to learn English, and maybe that actually transpired in some of my videos, because some of them I listen, I'm like, okay, I made a mistake here, but that's just gonna be what it is. But I had to learn English the hard way. I was already working at the time and realizing that, oh my God, I need English. If not, I will not be able to have the level of his career that I wanted to have. And so I literally moved my life from Montreal to Toronto. So then I could be in an environment where everybody was speaking English. And I learned like that. And it was really tough. The first 6 months were really tough in life outside work, and also at work. People are not kind. Adults are not kind when you also another adult learning a language. But I didn't care. because I had a goal in mind. The goal was to learn English. And at the level I am at right now, there is nothing that I cannot do in English. I can study in English, I can work in English, there is nothing. But that was for me making that commitment many, many years ago. And so when I hear people say, oh my God, it's so hard to learn French, it's so hard to learn Spanish, it's so hard to learn fill the blank, I'm like, how committed are you? Like, seriously, how committed are you to learn? If I was really committed to learning Spanish, I would have been speaking Spanish now. But I started taking lessons and then I stopped. I started taking lessons and then I stopped. Now I'm taking lessons again. But I'm very committed now because, in a few years I want to move abroad and I want to move into a Latin American country and I want to have my Spanish at the level that I want, to have a casual conversation. So my why right now is much stronger than my why back then. So, and the other thing is also that people don't realize learning a language is one of the way to fight dementia and fight Alzheimer. Yes, because your mind is thinking, right? You're discovering another way to another, other type of words, another way to say things, another way to structure sentences. The sound, it's so different from maybe your language. And it might hurt your head, but it's really doing good to your mind, to your brain. It's doing good to your brain. And it doesn't also have to be any language that we speaking with our mouth. It could be sign language, where you discover another world of body language, gesture, how to communicate without even saying a word. Like how powerful is that, right? And to me, learning a language is establishing a bridge with another culture. When my Spanish will be good, listen, that's like the entire Spanish speaking world that is opening to me. I'm already speaking French. I'm already speaking English. With Spanish, with those three languages, I think I have a good chunk of the world covered, right? And I'm not stopping there. There are other languages that I want to learn after Spanish because I'm also interested to see how to be able to be part of that culture is going to be easier for me to speak the language. So learn another language, commit to it, unleash capability, and go learn another language. That will do you good uh, for you, like, for your mental health, and also for you to be able to have a new network, a new world opening to you because you're speaking a new language. And then the third thing that I honestly think that everyone should do is to travel solo. Travel solo. And especially for us Black women, now maybe it's changing, but a lot of Black women are not comfortable doing that. And I understand, the reason behind it. But here's the thing. Are you going to be waiting after so and so to be able to take that trip that you so want to take? Like, how long are you going to wait for it? And you hear stories of Black women who are like, you know what? I'm not waiting for anyone, I'm just going. And seeing their lives, how their lives have changed as a result of them, taking a leap of faith and of course doing the due diligence, making sure that they do all of the security related matters and everything, but still going at it and traveling solo. And if traveling solo is something that you're still very anxious about, start start where you are. Have you ever been to the theater by yourself? If not, go to the theater by yourself. Have you ever been to the restaurant by yourself? If not, go to the restaurant by yourself. Travel into another city in the same country by yourself. So there are so many things that you can do at your level right now and do it by yourself to kind of like build the stepping stones to eventually you traveling solo, especially if it's a country that is far, right? Like we here in North America, if you're talking traveling to Europe by yourself or like to Asia by yourself, that's something that you can work your way to. But don't say, oh, uh, my husband doesn't want to go with me, so I guess I'm not going. Or like my friends they don't want to go with me, so I guess I'm not going. That would be really sad. That would be really sad. And I love seeing Black women traveling solo and doing, going by themselves to discover the world because that's really what they want. That's really what they want. Do not wait for anyone. Like, of course, try to. Of course, it's always, there are people who love travel solo, but most people they'll prefer to have someone else with them. But unfortunately, they can't find anyone. Then almost like, well, I guess I can't find anyone. I'll just wait. And you don't want that for yourself. When I went to China and Hong Kong many years ago, I was trying to find someone to go with me. And then at one point I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to do this by myself. That's what I did. That's what I did. I was 3 weeks traveling through China and then Hong Kong, and not speaking a word of Mandarin or Cantonese, and being in some space where people are not even speaking English and definitely haven't seen a black person in their entire life. But I had a blast. I had a blast. As a matter of fact, China is one of the countries that I would like to go back and not only travel there, but live there. Live there eventually. I love that. Probably after living in Latin America, China will be my next stop, or at least the country in Asia will be my next stop for me to live, because I really want to know better the culture and yes, learn the language. After Spanish, actually, Mandarin is one that I'm considering learning. And I know that people say it's so hard and everything, but it's hard. It's not impossible. Is it impossible? Tell me it's impossible, then I will just stop it. But if it's not impossible, Homegirl is going at it, and I want you to go at it as well. So there you have it. Three things that I honestly think that each person, especially Black women, we should do once in our life. Take a break from work, travel solo, and also really so take a break, travel solo, and learn a language. And you can do all of that in one shot. When you take that break and you decide, let's say, to go to China, well, learn some words in Mandarin before you get there. And that's already a beginning, all right? That's already, you already kind of like, with just that one stone, you already uh, get those three birds. You're taking time off work, you're going to learn a bit of Mandarin, and you're going to be traveling by yourself there. And I tell you, you will not come back the same person. You will not. I'm not saying that your experience will be so amazing or so bad, but you will not come back the same person. And that, at the end of the day, to grow, we need to get outside of our comfort zone. And all of those three things that I just listed here will get you outside of your comfort zone and will make you a different person. So you tell me, have you done any of that? Which one have you done? Which other thing that you think that people should do, especially Black women, should do once in their lives? Do share in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share also with your network this particular video, and come back tomorrow for more as we are working through our 30 in 30 days challenge here. Thank you again for listening, and until tomorrow, keep on building.